the second or third upload for today is with regard to the ongoing issues of human rights abuses that I'm experiencing without legal representation, and in a tightly knit community of very guilty culprits that since 2016 have been of fraudulent information and that have been of disinformation and slander of my character. So there has been a preoccupation with my marital property. As I've mentioned, there were unlawful care orders issued in Tralee, County Kerry from the CKT office, the CKT office in County Cork, representing the TUSLA Child and Family Agency. There was no just or fair trial. There was no legal representation. As I've mentioned, there was no supervision or care order prior to the abduction of my son in January 2017. So there's an issue of matters regarding unresolved wrongdoings that are being exacerbated and worsened. And there's even worse incidents of theft from my marital property and the slander I've experienced from my marriage since 2017 and the violations of privacy that I'm experiencing in my current abode, where there's also been very dangerous exacerbatory slanderous offences due to marital desertion and financial theft from my marriage. So there's been financial theft from my marriage, and there has been trespassing onto my property, and there have been people discussing my marital ancestral property, and legal rights have not been acknowledged, legal expectations have not been met, and there's a missing child in the midst of all of this with regard to the unlawful care order, the absence of legal representation, no just or fair trial, and cheeky individuals trespassing upon a royal title that are guilty of developments in society that are illegal and that are publicising my personal information, my personal experience in broad daylight. So these people are highly unprofessional. They're not practicing the law. They're not obviously adhering to the law. They aren't actually acknowledging the laws that be. And they are risking children's lives. They have damaged my son of 5-6 years of age since he was 2. So my little baby boy has been damaged by these people. So I'm wondering what the guards and the government are really seriously thinking about this very dangerous situation when these kind of liabilities are in a community, accessing people's personal space, personal identity and personal information. A royal title is a little bit of a huge responsibility, and my humanitarian work, as I've mentioned, has saved many people, and these people are breaking, those offending my child and I are breaking the law. So they're not welcome on my property. And when there's marital desertion and bravado of guilty culprits exacerbating the offences caused to my son, that's all very serious. So for women and children's rights to be disrespected and no legal representation, and the wealth of my fortune being stolen from me, this is all very dangerous in Tralee, County Kerry, and it's a poor reflection for the country. So those on my property that have been of spiritual violence and that have perverted my baby boy's upbringing and that have perverted my privacy here with their obsession about my farm holdings that they have no right to discuss since 2015. This is all very dangerous for women's rights. It sends a very poor message that bitter people are damaging success and progress. Bitter incompetence isn't very helpful to women's rights. When you're looking down on a person, it's not helping yourself up. It's basic as that. And when you're taking people down, you're not helping yourself up either. So those that have destroyed my child and his upbringing and my marriage and my property and my home in Tuppert Hill, those kind of people that have been disturbing the peace, damaging my reputation, all of these things, stealing from my creative intellectual property. These are all very huge issues for women's rights. So I'd appreciate the guards and the government remembering my humanitarian work and the positive that has come from those endeavours, as opposed to the intrusions of the guilty culprits that have been damaging progress with their poor negotiations and poor tactics and their constant evasion of the facts and the debts they owe.